Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, the Frugality. So today I want to talk to you all about the difference between being frugal and being cheap, because FYI, they're not the same thing. So for all of you out there that are new to the frugal lifestyle, or for you guys out there that are long in the tooth but actually just need some arguments to prove that you're not cheap, don't worry, I've got you. I've got some arguments for you. Just stick with me. So just so we're clear, you and I both know that being frugal is all about weighing up your time, your money, and the breadth of your resources against one another, and then deciding how to utilize each in order to get the quality of life that you're after. It's about using your resources wisely. I think we also both know that being cheap is valuing money and cost over all of your resources, regardless of your quality of life. But let's break that down a little bit more and actually weigh up what frugal and cheap actually looks like. So the first thing for us to acknowledge is that frugal people will invest in an item that serves its purpose for them, even if it means spending a little bit more money. Whereas cheap people will always buy the least or pay the least amount of money, regardless of quality or performance. As long as it's the cheapest and they're saving the most amount of money on that item, they are happy. So that leads us on to our second difference. Cheap people are short-term thinkers. Buying cheap often means buying twice, and so in the long run, even though you had a lower cost initially, you will likely end up spending more money if you are cheap, versus frugal people who will put their money in the right places and invest for the long term. They will buy products that are durable. They will invest in things that will last a long time. So they'll put their money in the right place and get their money's worth. Cheap is wasting large amounts of valuable time in order to get the cheapest price. So this could mean driving an hour, 2 hours away, going to another city to get a cheaper price on an item, not factoring in the cost of fuel to get there, or the fact that you could have been doing something else with that time. Versus frugal people who consider the opportunity cost of all of their actions. How much will it cost me if I don't take this action versus if I do take this action? They consider the whole picture before they invest money anywhere. Frugal people make purchases based on their values. Do I need this? Why? What purpose does it serve? What problem does it solve? Is it going to negatively impact me or others if I place my money here? Versus cheap people who buy solely because it's cheap. Cheap is inconveniencing people so that you can save money. Frugal is foregoing things that you do not need or finding cheaper alternatives if you do need something. Cheap is attempting to save money at the expense of your health and well-being, and it's not doing things that you love so that you cannot spend and hoard money through self-denial. Whereas frugal is budgeting your resources accordingly so that you can indulge in the things that you love, but being sensible, using discipline and sacrifice to make sure that you stay on course for your long-term goals. Frugality and being frugal is relative to what you're buying. It does not mean buying the cheapest thing, but it does mean spending in relation to your budget. It's buying what you can afford. Frugality is also living a relatively minimal lifestyle, not necessarily being a minimalist, so that you can fill your life with the few high quality things that you do actually need, versus being cheap, which is to hoard a lot of cheap things, again, because they're cheap and so you can. And finally, frugal is having a full life while being mindful of your money and your resources, whereas cheap is living a small life and being mindless at the same time. Okay guys, so that's the end of the video. Those are the differences I can see between being frugal and cheap. I am not cheap. That I can say for sure. But drop down in the comments and let me know if you can think of any differences that I haven't mentioned here. Share, share, share. It will help people watching this video feel better about being on this journey, because we're not a cheap community. We know what we're doing. We're targeting our spending and we're putting our money and our resources in the right places. We're not being wasteful and we're not going for the cheapest thing. Anyway, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, stick around. I have more videos like this. There'll be videos here that you can check out, and hopefully I'll see you in my next one. Thanks. Bye.